Good morning, Deanna. We are going live. I am putting this into the Keyspire Inner Circle, and it's Monday morning. We're going live. And how's your
Hi
Monday
there.
starting off there? Good morning. Thanks for joining.
Hey, we're live on Facebook and we are coast to coast this morning.
Yeah,
Kind of
you are in California.
sunny SoCal. Yeah. So good morning to the Pacific time zone people, 8 o'clock, 9
Thanks for
a.m. in the
waking.
mountains where they're shoveling snow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, crazy. I think you had some crazy weather too lately.
I honestly think every part of North America has had crazy weather, right? Crazy stuff going on. Um, and what about like I actually did a shout out to working partners. Like how many people took possession in minus 30 weather of properties?
Crazy. Yeah, can you imagine that? Like
Yeah.
nuts. Yeah, they're having a crazy amount of snow. It's been a crazy year weather-wise. I remember thinking that back in January, winter last year was just nuts, and it was just continued on with that kind of throughout the whole year.
Yeah, yeah. Makes the landlording part of this interesting, right? Frozen pipes and snow shovel and frozen eaves and people with new properties. We took possession of a brand new build once, just before it went to minus 30. And of course, that's a little bit of a concern, getting all the mechanical and everything set out. So yeah, it adds to the fun.
You had some really windy conditions there. Was anything broken or any damage done?
Other than I think you're teasing me a little bit. So we did end up with some furniture in the pool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, it was quite windy here. New Year's Eve as well, there was a terrible windstorm. So a couple coming through the valley from Los Angeles. Los Angeles had a ton of rain, some mudslides and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How about
And
you? What were you up to this weekend?
you know what? This week I'm losing my sanity with I just went on Facebook Marketplace and I'm looking for I wanted to see my basement apartment advertisement because I'm
Yeah.
not getting many hits, and I searched for it and I couldn't find it. And so,
Oh,
you know, um I was taking a break earlier this morning, and I was Michael Sarancini posted in his 52 real estate investing tactics. He posted an article this week about should you do it yourself or hire a pro? And I'm at the point now, I'm like, do I hire a pro to do my Facebook ad? Because for some reason I've been successfully posted this rental two other times. This time it's like Facebook has changed something, and whatever I'm doing,
not
it's not
showing up.
showing up. It's
Interesting.
it's weird. So I don't know if anybody has any solutions. Please put them
Yeah, yeah.
in the
And
comments.
there's a difference now. I was just recently talking with someone about using a leasing agent versus a property manager, right? You can
Yeah.
hire someone just to, and we've talked about that a couple of times, just having someone develop ads and pictures, so that most of our properties, we have them sort of ready to go, but it's a good idea to do a brush up of
Well,
those.
I'll post just in terms of what you're saying. I'll post Michael his
A link to that.
post
Yeah,
there.
those
Yeah, I'll post it
52.
in the comments because there's a lot of helpful things there to come
That's
across. It was
great.
great
And maybe
article.
somebody will have a recommendation for a leasing agent near you. Oh, you know what happened to us this weekend? First time ever, we had a midnight move. A tenant
What?
left us. Yes.
Like surprise? Like what?
Yeah. So we've had a tenant moved in September, October, and I think they've been late every single month with rent, but they always paid. And there was some, like let them move in early. They were going to pay utilities, a little bit of that stuff. And so we had literally like planned to evict them in February. And we have a gentleman on our team who looks after the properties for us. And so I literally just said, put that on your agenda for February. We're going to have to evict them. We let them skate through because they do always pay. And we've been traveling and just didn't really want to deal with it. And, through Christmas, like, we just didn't want to evict someone if they're a few days late. Anyways, they left us.
Crazy.
Yes, but the property is fine. It was fairly
Good.
clean, left a bit of food and such. And they texted to say they had left. So that was because I think that midnight move and having your property destroyed is a huge concern for everybody,
Oh
right?
my
But
gosh.
yeah, so there's always something new, right? And so we had that realization, like, oh my gosh, we had a midnight move. Like, but thankfully it's gone smooth, and we got the
Yeah.
property ready to go because we had just done a refresh, new floors, new paint, all of that.
Oh,
So yeah, so we were assured that they went in and checked it out and everything was fine. So there was a new one. Anyways, let's get
awesome.
on with the show. And thanks for
Yeah.
having me. Joe can't be here, and thanks, you guys sort of looked around, everyone ducked their heads, and you found me. So I'm happy to be here again. Thanks.
Yeah, no, and I don't even, I think just because we were kind of giggling before we went live here, I don't think I introduced Deanna Boyden to Keyspire Inner Circle, but you guys all know her. But thanks for joining me and thanks for having a cup of coffee with me. Um, yeah, what did I want to say next? Oh, are we talking about positive posts in the Keyspire group? Any positive posts you came across?
I came across a couple good ones, Jim.
Oh,
Okay, so shout outs to all of those parents with littles at home. I know that a lot of people had their kids home for an extra week. Um, and there was a post, a mom working with her baby. Miss Amanda had the baby down by her knee and just getting it done, right? We've got members. I know a member who has a pet that is literally like not doing well, and they're looking
oh,
after that. Even Robin and Paul own a bakery down in Waterford, which is amazing. She did a Facebook Live from her bakery. We've been there to visit them and done deal analysis behind the counter, right? Like, and their entire family invests. I just want to give a shout out to those people who, we've got sick parents and kids at home and pets that are not well and other businesses. Like, people just keep taking one step at a time, and that post really brought it home. Like, there she is with this baby sitting right there, and she is getting stuff done. So
people with babies, of course, but I mean children just now with the lots of the lockdowns and the schools being shut down for what sounds like an extra week or 2 weeks. You really feel for them. I know I've spoken to a bunch of them in the past couple of weeks, and they're really feeling the struggle. So all the best to you guys out there. Keep rocking it. You guys are incredible. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, and when last week I talked about the big rocks. Those are big rocks, right? I,
Yeah,
I talked to another member who, they had a couple of losses over the holidays, and she's got family to support through that, right? And
incredible.
she was saying, like, if I had a job that I had to go to every day, but real estate is allowing us to sort of do that. So I think that's fantastic.
Awesome. And you were mentioning another post, and I did take a read of that. That was Nathan, a new member. You mentioned that he was closing on his second property since joining Keyspire in October. So I think Nathan Smith. So incredible. Congratulations. I hope all goes well. Great for you to take all the learnings that you're getting and you're putting what you're learning in your coaching sessions to work and achieving this. Incredible.
And made an offer the same day, right? I think that's where people are empowered by this education and the support of this community. I don't think, before I was in this community, that would have been scary stuff. He knows he's in a busy market. I think it was Halifax, right?
Yeah.
And their second property since October. So that's pretty quick to be buying another
Wow.
property. And that's a big step, I think, for a lot of people to see a property and make an offer that day. Like, I think that is really encouraging when people get empowered enough to make those business decisions. This is where we got to go that quickly, right? So good for him. Yeah.
Awesome. I want to welcome our guest into the show. Speaking about a parent that is rocking it with a young child at home, we have Natasha O'Farrell joining us, and let me welcome Natasha. Her and Walter welcomed Arthur into the world. How long ago? Just a few months ago, Deanna? Do you know? Are you sure? Hey, good morning, Natasha.
Hey.
Hey, happy coffee, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Whoa, that
Okay,
is.
best coffee mug of the morning.
I was thinking about a branded coffee mug, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. So how's your morning
Mine
going,
might be
Natasha?
Bubbles, but hers is definitely Billy's.
I wish, not till at least after 12. My morning's going well. I'm actually at work, working from home at work, but
Okay.
I have the flexibility of my organization is very much driven by goal achievement rather than 9 to 5 sitting at your desk and being tied to it. So
Incredible.
it's a fantastic organization to be part of. And I get opportunities to do things like this. So it's fantastic.
Awesome. And can you please remind us, we were just talking about Arthur there. How old is Arthur?
If I counted in months, it's 16 months. If I counted in gray hairs, it's all of them. If I counted in sleepless nights, it's 6 out of 7.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. We're just
Different
saying, like,
places.
big shout out to parents. I mean, that is the story, right? Working mom with a job, little man at home, like it's a
Mhm.
lot, and yet you still find a way to keep your business going and progressing your real estate business.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot. Some days it's a lot, and some days we just have to be like, time out, time out. We just need to stop. But we try to be very, very mindful of giving Arthur his time with us as much as possible. So there's a park that we go to, and there's a swing, a specific swing that he loves. So we're always there, always making sure he has that time because, as you say, that's the thing with being a mom and full-time work and then real estate, because real estate doesn't sleep. So with like my background, so with a master's in supply chain management, which is basically the science of putting efficiencies to business, we've been able to incorporate and identify a lot of strategies that have helped us be able to achieve goals, move forward in as an efficient way as possible, which has been great.
I love
incredible.
this so much, right? This is all about the rocks. And,
Mhm.
last year, our goal, and this year again, our goal is to get our work done in 6 months. So 12 months of work in the first 6 months of the year. So I'm
Amazing.
so happy to have Natasha here today. Hey, Jim, this is amazing.
It was a great suggestion. Um, but if anybody, this is like I'm on a show with my two younger sisters who are always right and they always nag me. I'm just joking around. Look at Deanna's face. I'm sorry. Um,
Younger.
He said younger. Very well done.
That's all
Very
we
well
heard.
done.
I don't know what he said
Yeah.
after that. I don't know. So Natasha, let's let you share these tips with us, because this, I think, is really important stuff for people who are investors and who perhaps don't have your background, that business background, which I am always cognizant of the advantage of having sort of my business background, and people who come to
Mhm.
this who are nurses and things. To me, it's incredible because they're learning real estate and they're learning some of this stuff. So I think the knowledge that is in your brain can really help people in getting it out onto paper, which is a good segue to bring up screen share.
Wonderful.
oh yeah.
Yes. So thank you again for having me. So once you invited me, I thought, okay, let me sort of formalize it into what are the 3 main steps that we do to be able to be successful in real estate while everything else is going on around us. And, one of the things that we hear constantly is treat it like a business. You have to treat it like a business. But what does that actually mean? And for so many people, it'll just be like, oh, you have to run it like a business. That means it has to make money. But that's only one strategy, if even a strategy at all. Like really what we're talking about is you're being a manager, but you're also an employee. And it's also about having the systems and checks in place to make sure that you have all the tools that you need to be able to succeed. I think like one of the craziest thing is a year shortens once you get into the real estate world. Before, like a year, it'd be like, oh, when do I go on vacation? Okay, let me count the days until I get to my vacation, or, the long weekends or statutory holidays or whatever it is. But once you get into real estate, that year shrinks. So we've been identifying different ways and how we can harness the time, because protecting your time is really the one thing that's going to help you succeed. But of course, the main thing is setting that goal. But once you set the goal, great. But how do you get there? You have 360 days. Off that, you need time for sleeping. Some people do. I need a lot of sleep. You need time for family, friends, all those big rocks that you need to be putting in. So how do you do that? And one of the fun things we do, well, it's kind of really boring and lame and nerdy, I guess, but we create HR policies. Like, how are we going to ensure, sorry, that's the postman's like bang, 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 must be a really big package. Fantastic. One of the things we do is create HR policies. And it's like, what are our hours of operation? When is our hours of operation open? What's our roles and responsibilities? Because again, you're an employee, you're a manager, you're wearing multiple hats, you're a bookkeeper, you're assessing the market, you're a mom, you're whatever and everything that you need to be. But this can very simply show you, I have a goal to get to 5 properties, but I only have 3 hours a week that I can apply to this. Then your goal is not realistic. So it allows you to really quickly create a process to ensure that you can achieve the goals you're setting out. One thing that we have done is the 45-day book. So 30 days is a bit too short, 60 days is too long. But if you put 4 to 5 tasks for every 45 days, you're going to achieve your goal.
Wow.
But what you have to remember is that 45 days, when you break it down, you have 8 segments, 8 times throughout the year in order to make this a reality. And one of the biggest things that's going to derail you is the distractions. It's, oh, what's happening out in the East Coast? What's happening in the West Coast? What's happening in my backyard? Oh, I just saw somebody just did this, that, there. And you're just like, oh my God, shiny balls everywhere. So HR, set your goal, get your HR policies, your 45 days, become your criteria that build a lens that you look at to ensure that every distraction that comes along, that you can quickly put your lens on, look at it, go, will this help me achieve this goal? Will this achieve something within this 45 days? Is this going to help me get to the end of year achievement? And it will allow you to very quickly, yes, no, and continue to grow. And if you
Right there, guys,
steps,
focus.
focus. So if you put those 3 steps into process, into implementation, you're going to checkmate. You're going to achieve your goals and you're going to feel incredible about it. But it does take some work up front.
Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
Jen,
Yeah.
what do you, look, that's,
Well, yeah,
that's gold.
like
gold.
shiny balls. I mean, I've that might just be my new expression, but I all the time, like I've got Facebook in the background, notification going off and something, and I'm like, oh, what's happening? I'm always finding myself clicking on it, and I'm thinking, no, Jim, don't click on the notification. So I struggle with that. Irismar's laughing in the background. So yeah, that's something I really have difficulty with.
I think that's like, it's a superpower, right? I love when, like, I love that we have so much talent across this community, and that is something that you have harnessed, Natasha. And I think of superheroes. So this one specifically, and I'm sure there are other superheroes that have it, but Wonder Woman has those bracelets, and she's like, pew, pew, and just deflecting stuff, right? And I think that's so important to put those bracelets on and deflect stuff. Maybe the men don't call them bracelets. They probably call them like power bands.
Power bands.
Yeah. Power Rangers. But that's just as important, right? The things that you keep off of your desk, make room for the things that should be on your desk, on your mind, on that, so much wisdom from Michael all the time, right? But that whole idea of the bookshelf, like, you can only have so many books on your bookshelf.
Yeah.
I'm going to put new ones on. You got to take something off.
Yeah. And I love the idea of the 45, 4 to 5 tasks in 45 days. For somebody that like myself, that seems to get overwhelmed with tasks, that seems something like really attainable, something that I could handle myself. So I really enjoyed that.
And there's built-in accountability with the numbers, right? That's you hear about SMART goals. It's,
Exactly.
very
Yeah,
specific, measurable, attainable. Yeah, those are good ones. Wow, some
exactly.
great tips. We'll share that Canva in the
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
chat in the group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can
Please
drop it in
post
for
it.
sure.
And we skipped over it. I apologize, Natasha. Also, was there any positive posts that you wanted to share from the Keyspire community, or have you been? I don't know if you've been on the Keyspire community in the past few days.
Yeah, like coming up toward the end, I know we talk mostly, or you talk mostly just on the week, but what I've seen sort of recently, and I know it's the time in, is so much gratitude posts about where people are, where they've grown, mindful posts. I saw one where it was like just walk through a forest with like beautiful sunlight drifting through the trees. And I was like, this part is so important. Like going out and getting doors and things like that, yes, it's all part of it, but protecting yourself, protecting your time, protecting your energy is going to be the thing that when you achieve your goal, you're going to feel great about it. You don't want to get there and be burnt out. And I love seeing that there's been so many people posting about that very thing, taking time out with family, taking time out for a walk, just appreciating where they've come, and how far they've come in the time. I think that's so important.
You're right. Yeah. Surround yourself with the ones you love and the things that you love, and just cherish those moments.
Mhm. But we do have a tool out, so Deanna was part of it as well. The clause tool. So that was something we worked on over the holidays, and it
Yeah.
has about 7-8 pages of clauses that will save people hundreds of thousands of dollars, headaches, mistakes, all of that. So if anybody hasn't downloaded it yet, make sure you do. It's incredible. It was such a
Awesome.
cool collaboration.
Yeah, that was crazy. I can't. The response was just nuts.
I know that was like wordsmithing over the holidays. I was like, what did I do?
I know the way she took posts and just made them, I mean, some people put in their actual clauses, which is fantastic. And I think it's also, even if you think you have an airtight lease or offer or something, it's always so great to go through and take a look at the updated ones, right? I mean, the last sort of big thing that was a few years ago when cannabis became a thing, right?
Mhm.
And everybody had to go in. And so don't just keep adding stuff to your lease agreement over the years, for example, like go in and clean it up and sort of modernize it, right?
Mhm.
I think that there are
Absolutely.
things around, there was, some conversation around, subletting. And you
Mhm.
maybe didn't think about that when with just single family homes, right? That doesn't obviously
Yeah.
happen as much in a single family home, but it might in multis. And I think it's good to do. And Natasha, you remind me that discipline around some of those processes is great. And this time of year, right? We're all talking about
Mhm.
goals and intentions for the year, which I think Jim and Joe have done a great job of carrying that theme through January. But that sort of discipline around looking at those things, looking at your offer agreement and making sure that you've updated some of your info is great. But that was a gift to the community for sure, Natasha. Spending your Christmas holidays wordsmithing and putting that together to share.
Crazy. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
loved it.
yeah, yeah. No wonder
Excellent.
people are filled with gratitude here. It's people like you, Natasha, contributing that add so
Oh,
much to this.
And
oh,
you as
thank
well,
you.
Deanna. We learned from you two of the best, and thank
Absolutely.
you so much for your time and so much for joining me this morning, Deanna for co-hosting, and Natasha for sharing that amazing information with us. Please post that in the comment section, and really appreciate it. Have a great week, ladies,
Thank you so much.
and thanks for being
Thanks, Jim.
gentle on me. Um, Keyspire, have a fabulous week. Thanks for joining us, and rock it. Follow your gut instincts and just go with it. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye.